This is probably my last video. I don't think I like being a creator too much. So I'll give editing a shot. Maybe I'll like record one or two more, see if screwing around with it entertains me, intrigues me. I'm not sure. Depends. If I fall in love with it, I'll keep making videos. If not, I think I'm just going to go back to joking around and shit like that. I don't know. You might see a video every once in a while. Whatever. So, just going to get into this. This is what I call the big box. I keep this in my car. I don't use it very often, but when it comes in handy, it comes in handy. You'll probably see why, for a lot of different reasons. I'm going to try and talk about some of the stuff instead of nobody cares, and shit like that. Let's start with the top. Over here to the right top, I try to keep like automotive type stuff. This is just the top part of the box. Cool story about this box itself. My dad bought this for like sewing kits and shit. I don't know. My mom is into like needle nose and crochet and whatever the hell it is. I don't know. But so Serpo Pro flashlight. Sweet. Allen keys. A disposal wrench. You know what those were, right? Yeah. Yeah. Whatever. Pluggers. Those things. Terminal cleaner. More Allens. Those are my dad's. I can't get rid of those. I kind of like the pocket knife style type guys. You know, that's cool. Funny story about this little battery wrench. First time I went to use it, I never understood a point in that. I could always use whatever. Anyway, I bought it real quick, just on a whim. First time I ever went to use it, didn't fucking fit. I never put these things on, the grease and the whatever. This guy, I found it in a heater vent. You know, you have the baseboard heats over here. I found it, got stuck in it somehow or whatever. It's just like a little tack puller, but this thing's come in handy a couple times. Tire gauge. It's a Harbor Freight screwdriver. You know, the caliper, Allen's, oil wrench, tread depth, a feeler. Cool. Great neck adjustable. Duralast dice. Couple of Cobalt long mini pliers, I guess you would call these. Long mini pliers. Tape. Cyanoacrylate. Husky. Long mini pliers. Craftsman, USA. I've had these for like 12, 13 years. A little handsaw. I've had this screwdriver since 1995. Does it say one of my name? My name, it should say. Old Stanley, USA. My dad gave us, I have two brothers, myself and two brothers. Gave us always gave us tools. Every year on Christmas, always gave some tools. I was the only one that was very interested in that, but whatever. That's sentimental bullshit. This right here is when you'll start understanding why I call it the big box. Generally bigger stuff, automotive stuff, goes in here. I carry it around. You'll see the bigger side when I get into the bottom part. But these are the 10-inch Tectons. Slip joints. More screwdrivers, adjustable, tiny screwdrivers. Let me see, are these? These are from one of my step aunt deceased fathers. Just a pair of locking pliers. They, help out, and I try to hold and regularly use sentimental stuff because I'm a sentimental guy. What can I say? One of these 3/8 block piston tools. Those things are kind of cool. It's nice to see those in action. Sorry, working with limited space, so we're just gonna have to deal with it because this is gonna be probably my last one anyway. Because I just don't fucking, I'm not that interested. All right. Oh, the big box. What's really gonna suck is reorganizing this fucking thing. Drinking my 30 rack, as Basic would say. Liquid courage, nah, I mean. Alright. Snap ring pliers. These are cool. I don't use them very often. That's why they're still in the package. Actually, I've never used these since I bought them. I've used the pliers. I've used snap ring pliers. I've never used these since I bought them. Because, well, for some reason I felt like I needed them anyway. Scotch-Brite. Zip ties. Random wrenches. Mostly Chinese. Good to have around in an emergency. What I like to do with most of, if not all of, when and where I can, my boxes and stuff like that, to grab one and have a good majority of what I may or may not need, depending on the situation. Like if I needed to work on a car, or I needed to work on some kind of plumbing shit, I could grab this one 97% of the time. Maybe I'll do the everyday bag, or the go bag as I call it, as a completely final video. I don't know. I don't know. I'm disinterested in being a creator anymore. So, cool. Let's just keep going. And these are SAE and metric. Those are kind of lumped together because my wrenches are kind of all over the place. 460s, I think these are. Yeah, 460s. I have another pair of these that were actually my dad's. I went out and bought these so I could keep them in my car. And still have 460s at home. It's a cute little. Sweet. Extra tire plugs. This thing is awesome. It's a rigid, I guess, sink tool you'd call it. I'm not going to go into all of its features. But it has, the basin wrench. It has, little, it's cool. It really comes in handy. It can cut your tools in half. I don't use it very often, but it's a nice thing to have. 14-inch pipe wrench. This is a really sweet set. And out of nowhere, one of the guys that, when Siobhan and I first moved in together, we lived in a little, I guess, mother-in-law suite, like a little ensuite, with somebody that she went to high school with. And it was her dad's friend owned the house, and there was a completely separate apartment built off of the garage. So herself, myself, and then a friend lived in this tiny little 2-bedroom apartment. A little living room and a little kitchen and, whatever. But the man, just out of nowhere, gave me this set of Craftsman wrenches, which, shit, that was almost 7 years ago that we lived there. And he gave it to me. I've used these a bunch. This goes all the way from, what's this little guy? What the hell is that? 5/16 all the way up to 1 inch. So they don't get huge, but it's nice. It's the USA, not UFA, USA made set. I really like them, man. I use these as often as I possibly can. Keep them in the zip tie because it's worth cutting the zip tie. What else is in here? I think they call these groove locks. 12-inch. A Cobalt oil wrench. 440s. Come back to those. Another oil wrench. It's a 12-inch pry bar. 17-inch. That's a Tekton. I love these Tekton pry bars. I think it's the same company that makes the Craftsman ones. It's a Tekton Ladyfinger. This, again, was for my aunt's deceased father. It is a, you know what that is. Bicycle repair chain kit. I only bought this because at work I have a couple of chain-driven motors and I needed to pop it out, and it was impossible to find an actual chain pop kit, so I did the best that I could. Hacksaw, plumber's tape, 10-inch pipe. Speed Square. Plumber's tape. My backup Coke. Just kidding. Baking soda. Manual impact with extra bits. Protected, of course. Big ass Cobalt flathead. Husky vice grip. Drum brake tool. Spare for the Stanley Flat Max, wherever the hell I put that. Ant vice grip. This is another one from my aunt's deceased father, which I imagine he used as a, like a type of drift punch, I guess, because it's clear that he cut that off. It didn't just break. 10-inch Cobalt. Lock, ring. Some gimmicky ass. It's cool though. It's come in handy. It's nice. At my mom's house and my brother's house and stuff, a lot of the plumbing is old. So something like this comes in handy. This is for, what's it called? Slip and lock nut. You can actually, instead of using like a 12-inch adjustable on a more modern home to, like a bathroom sink or something like that, it's a lot easier to put one of these on. Then you can crank that lock nut without trying to, rip it out of the wall and shit like that. You'd be surprised how often that comes in handy. It's a 15-inch adjustable. Well, this goes with those. And then a big ass. A long ass. I shouldn't say big ass. A long ass. Phillips. When I say it goes with those, it's just an extra Husky 12 point. I can never remember because I always buy the wrong ones. Oh, they're standards. This is 1/4-inch stuff with this cheap ass 1/4-inch ratchet. And then, 3/8, 1/2-inch ratchets with all of them. So, and I wasn't even in camera view. Sweet. So, can't wait to clean all this up. Sorry to bother you. Hopefully I don't do it again ever.